So this is what we're going to be doing today. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again. So we're here every Wednesday on Facebook, on the Facebook Live, and today we're going to do Paisley Duo. So I've got an overhead camera in a moment that hopefully you'll be able to see just what I'm up to. Paisley Duo is a lovely braid that was created by one of our customers who isn't on Facebook at all. She's one of my shop customers, Gay. Lovely lady, and she was experimenting with these new Paisley duos, well, when they were new Paisley duos, and here we are with this beautiful project. So let's have a look what we've got. So here's Paisley Duo. So Paisley Duo, I've got one on as well to show you. Paisley Duo, let me just sort my camera focus out. Okay, yeah, that's all good. That's behaving today for now. So Paisley Duo, so it's a beautiful project. It's very tactile, very fluid, this piece is. The Paisley Duos are a paisley shape, and they can be used either way. So these ones are really nice. So they are flat on one side, but they can be flipped over to be used either way. There's another one that we stock that have got a domed part on them, which I love as well, but I just think you have to have both of them and get them the right way. This just gives you some flexibility to have this either way. So these are absolutely stunning. Now they come in lots of different colours. I will just add the link in because I've got it on my computer. I was just checking what stock we had of them. So I'll just add you a link in so you can see the Paisley Duos. So they're the colours that we do it in. Oh, Rosalind, you made a few of these, have you? Yes, it's a beautiful piece to make. So we do a kit, and the kit's half price at the moment. So it's down to, well, it's better than half price. It's down to £9.99. It makes two, and it's got everything you need in for what I'm doing here. It has the clasps in, so it makes a complete bracelet. So it makes two of those. Or you can choose your own colours, and there are some stunning colours, and I find that these are quite a feature in themselves, and then you can kind of bring your different tones and colours in. So absolutely beautiful colours to work with. So I've only got the kit in the one colour, but then we've got all the gorgeous other colours as well. So the Paisley Duo is the main feature of this piece, and then it's a bead weaving project. If you go for the kit as well, it does have a needle, a roller nymo, and all of these elements in too. So it's got absolutely everything you need in there. Now it's made up in two parts, I should say. So we're going to make the body of the braid here, and then we're going to embellish round the edges to fill in the detail with the gold going around there. So here's how it works. Now I've part started this one, but the process is repeating. It's two steps really. So it's one over to the left, one over to the right, and then it's a repeat of left, right, until you've got it roughly the right size. It doesn't need much, this one, adding on for the clasp. I just sort of do a simple loop at the top and the toggle clasp, so it doesn't add a huge amount extra. Does tighten it a little bit when you add this edge in. It just sort of brings it together if you've got any gaps, so that's just worth, if I lay that one on top of there, let's see how that bears up. Yeah, it's just made it slightly tighter on this one, so it doesn't quite mirror up. That's gone a bit higher, so you just need to bear in mind that once you add the edge, I mean, to be fair, you could go back. It's better to do this centerpiece all in one and add the embellishment on the edge, but if you get to the end and you go, it's really not the right size, you could come back to the end here, add another couple of Paisley Duos in, and then re-embellish it again. So it's a really fluid and flexible piece to work with. So let's look at the basic principles of it. So because these Paisley Duos flip either way, you do need to do that. So the process of this will be, if I lace some out how they would be, one would face that way, and then the next would flip round. Oh, that one doesn't quite look the right shape. I'm going to just avoid that one so you can get the full shape. Not that it won't work, but just so you can really see that defined pattern. So sort of like an exclamation mark, isn't it really? A comma or something, one that way and then one the opposite way, and you repeat that goes along this centre bit. So that's the first thing. You just need to remember to flip them. You'll kind of notice it, I think, that, you know, if you put them all the same way, I think you'd be aware that you'd done that. Mind you, having said that, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. Might not embellish as well down the edge because that sits around the curve of it, but yeah, that's certainly an option to experiment with the design, isn't it? So let's have a look how this would work in principle. So we've got this piece on here. So this is we're at the step now where we want to add our next Paisley Duo, which will be that way round. So I take my needle and I'm at this step where I pick up a size 11 seed bead. I go through the top hole. Oh, that's something I didn't mention. I go through the top hole of a Paisley Duo. So Paisley Duos are 2-holed beads, which is how we are able to get this beautiful design. So I've gone through the top hole of it there, and then I've got the bottom hole that I can go back down and through. So I'm popping that on. That's the first step. That's the stage I'm at the moment. So then we'll continue to pick up the beads that are going to go on this side. So it's that bit there. So it's a size 11, a bicone, and a size 11 onto my needle. Bring those down like that, and then we go through the second hole along the bottom. So we pass back through. Let me just make sure this is in the centre so you can see it. We pass back through that bottom hole. Now it's quite fluid at the minute. You can see that moving out the way. It sort of will be until you get that edging on. So I tend to keep it flat on the mat here so you can really see what you're doing and keep it nice and flat. So I'm pulling that through, and you can see that's going to add that edge on that outer rim there. So pull that nice and tight. So that's that one. So remember, we laid this one out in the opposite direction. If you hadn't, you would pick up your next Paisley Duo and get that ready. So that one's ready to go in, but we've got a spacer bead in the middle. So one spacer bead, and at the same time, if you're feeling confident, you can go through that top hole of the Paisley Duo. Like so. So that's now ready to then add my edging onto that piece there as well. So then we go size 11, crystal, size 11. We bring that on. So then we go through that second hole back through that way. We go through there, and that'll add that embellishment onto the edge, and it sits around that domed bit of there. Now that's a good example of something that can happen. It's gone loose there. It's completely rectifiable just by pulling that nice and tight. Now I do try and do that along the way, and if these start to get loose, I sort of go back, pull them all up in situ like that. But like I say, when you add that embellishment down the edge as well, that seems to... Can you see how fluid it is at the moment? It's sort of like really expanding and shrinking in size. But once we add that edge on, that will seal that, so it's not as floppy there on the sides. Okay, so we're going for another join one in the middle, so a little size 11 to join the two, and we shall get our Paisley Duo at the ready and go through that top hole of that bead. So these are, I think they're called Polychrome Plum, these ones, the ones that we use in this kit, and they're just got, yeah, you can see that, I can on my screen, it looks like a real beautiful lustre on those. They really do create these in the most beautiful finishes, and it's sort of a matte finish, I guess. So then the contrast of the you know, the sparkle on the crystal, and in fact they're a matte bead as well, but these are a silver lined one, so you get that real contrast of different beads, which I think is what makes this project so beautiful. So I've picked up my collection of beads. It's my seed bead, crystal, and a further seed bead. Bring that down and through that bottom hole back in the opposite direction. So the process is the same, but we are weaving to and fro through this like that. So your thread path goes through there, through the top hole, through the bottom hole of the paisley, top hole of that one, and round. So it sort of snakes round like this all the way down on a repeat design. There's a bit of flexibility if you fancy maybe changing up this middle bead, pop a little bit of something else in there. You know, a different colour maybe might look quite cute. Haven't experimented much with this design. Through that top one again. Remember, we've got those in the opposite direction, so they're sitting in opposites. And then we go seed bead, crystal, seed bead. Bring those down. go through that bottom, somewhere there she says, at the bottom of the Paisley Duo hole. So Paisley Duos, don't forget, are 2-holed beads. 2-holed beads just give you flexibility within themselves, really. So if I just show you this, I'll show you it in detail. I'll show you that way first. Oh, has my phone gone to sleep? No, are you awake? Yeah, good. So that's the shape of it, it's the Paisley, and let me show you the side that you can see out really clearly, the 2 holes in the side. So we're going through the top hole or the bottom one on each stitch, just to sort of secure that in, and obviously they go all the way through to the other side as well. So that's the beautiful thing about these Paisley Duos. They're really versatile. You can just use them, you know, regular stringing, add drops. So if you just go through the top one on a nice stringing piece, just go through that top one and continuously go through that, you just get a bit of a drop. You see just the drop off it, which looks rather lovely. Let me do a couple more of this and then I'll show you onto the embellishment bit. So picking up a size 11 and through that top hole. There. Like so. And then we're going to pick up that edging. Just got to make sure I stop at the right point to show you it. It's this next bit I'll do, and then I'll stop there, just to, as if I'm finishing it. Then I can show you as if if I've come to the end. So I'm popping my embellishment on that one, going through that hole. So imagine then I've come to the end of my project. So I've got my, let's say we're allowing an extra ½ inch. So it's going to depend on your tension, how much more you need to leave. So as long as you've pulled that all up, all at the time, like I say, if you need to go back to the beginning, pull the thread path through again. So I'd already done that, so that's nice and tight, but the first time it wasn't, so it did need that doing. But just try and make sure every time you're pulling it tight enough just to keep it secure. I've just used a Nymo, but you may want to use a KO or a, you know, your beading thread of choice. Oh, sorry, the camera's not focused on. Yeah, screen's gone blurry. Sorry, Julie, I wasn't looking at that. If I don't refocus it on the mat, it goes. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. Liz has just made an excellent point. Okay, you start using it, and thankfully with this piece, Liz, you go through that second hole quite quickly, but you're absolutely spot on. I've made a Kumihimo piece where you completely go through one side. You don't do the other one till you've finished a whole braid, which is probably taking you 2 or 3 hours. Then you go through the other side of it. And they're only, you know, we're only human. These are tiny little beads and there are mistakes in them. They are occasional because they're a good quality bead. But you get to the other side and if there's not a second hole in it, oh, it's the most frustrating thing. So it's a good point to double check the holes. But because you're going through both of them really quite, you're going through them immediately almost, it does get spotted. But that is a really good tip for 2-hole projects for sure. Before you cause yourself that Kumihimo piece. I'm saying it so frustratedly because I've done it. It really is the most frustrating thing to do. So did you catch all of that? I was just repeating the bit, so hopefully you saw enough of it before the screen went a bit blurry. Okay, so that's where we go to with that. Now, let's imagine we're at the end. So we've made our piece. So say we want a 7-inch bracelet, and we've made sure our tension's nice and tight. So we're just going to allow maybe an extra ½ inch or so that it will add. What you can always do then is, if you need to, you could always add where you add your clasp here, you could always add a longer piece here, or you could go back and add an extra one, like I said. But it depends where your tension is, how much it will shrink it by. But I think realistically, if you did an extra ½ inch or so, that should be enough. Okay, so let's see what we do on the next bit. Now, so we've done our embellishment and we're here. What I'm going to do just on this first one, on the edging, is pick up a size 11, because I haven't finished this one off with a size 11. But this is purely for this first one because it hasn't got one. We're going to utilise some of these along the way as we add them on the other one. But that one we needed to finish it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back down. So we're going to bring this back down into... as we go into around this side bit, and that'll nip and tuck it all together. It will hold it nice and straight along there and give it that. So we're using contrasting beads to give it that extra colour and really bring out. So if you look at these are like they're a purple, I think they're called purple metallic on our website, but they've got that real gold luster, but they've also got a kind of greeny luster, so they really pull out different colours depending what you put them with. So they complemented these purple Paisley Duos beautifully, and then a nice gold matte bead as well. So I've got the gold matte bead here, and I've picked up 3 of those. Now what I'm looking to do is to bring this on the side and bring that in to this bead here. Okay, so I'm bringing it in that top. Let me see if I can make this a little clearer for you. Let's see, hold on. Bear with me, I'll just get this a bit closer without losing my focus completely. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit closer for you to see. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing it through that bottom one of the Paisley Duo above, but also you pass it through that seed bead under there. So that's just a bit more it's just sort of bringing it into the pattern of where it goes. So I've got my 8, so these are size 8s. They just sort of, you know, when we do a pattern like this, we just test what size we want and what brings everything together, but it goes through there. Or what I've got is one of those pictures I was just, hold on, let me just bring you a picture in at this stage just to show you. I'll bring this in. So this is the step I'm at. So imagine I've done the full project. You can see that I've gone down the edge with the little crystals, and then I've exited on that Paisley Duo, and what I'm going to be doing is bringing my size 8s are going to come round and go back through there. Let me just see if I've got an image of those to bring in for you. Just bear with me on that and I'll see if I can find you one. So this is the stage I'm at the moment. In fact, I've just started the next stage. This is the one I'm looking for. Okay, just hold on, let me bring this one in for you. Sorry, nearly there with it. Okay, so this is the stage I'm on now. So if you just have a look at this one. Lynn, of course you need more beads. This is what we have to do, get all these lovely shaped beads. So this is the stage I'm at. So just for this first step, you pick up a size 11, which you can see on there on the bottom, and then the gold ones are size 8. So they're a different size to what we've been working with so far. But what I want you to observe there is the thread path it goes through. So I'm trying to show you live, but hopefully that'll show that nice and clearly as well. And it's I've got it the opposite way to the one I'm showing. But what you can see is where I'm passing. I'm going through my 11, the top hole of my Paisley Duo, my other 11, the bottom hole of the Paisley Duo, and exiting on my 11. So you're sort of passing the thread all the way through that cluster of beads that is there. So hopefully that shows that thread path for you. I'll get it on live now as well. Okay, so I've gone through there, so I've got my beads on, going all the way through there to exit on the other side, coming out basically the opposite bead there, ready to add the same cluster on that side. So we'll go there, bring that together, and you'll just feel that tension will just sort of secure on there for you. So I haven't added, I'm just checking I've done that. Yeah, so I haven't added a seed bead there. No, that's right, because I've passed back through that one. So you only end up with one little size 11, 3 of your size 8s, and they make like a, it's not quite a picot edge, although you could pass back through your thread path just under through the outer size 8s, and that would make it more picot effect. If you wanted to make that middle one stick out, you just go through either side of those 8s and it would make it protrude out more like a picot. But I just think it looks really cute like that. With embellishing like this, the other thing you can then do to sort of do it further is go back through and add another row of embellishment along the edge, so some extra little beads or something, some mini beads, or that's how we sort of build up our bead weaving projects really. So that's that one. So I'm now ready to add the same thing on the other side as well. So this time it was just that first one, if you remember, we had to add the size 11. I've already gone through the 11, so all I need to do is actually add just 3 size 8s. So 3 size 8s, bring those down. Okay, and what we're doing is passing all the way through that size 11, the Paisley Duo bottom, the 11, the Paisley Duo top, and next in on the other 11. Now don't forget we have a kit available for this, so if you like this colourway, this particular kit to make 2 with everything you need, Nymo needle, all your beads, is down to £9.99 at the moment. You can get it in our Paisley Duo section. So I'm just passing through there, just bring that needle and thread through. Okay, that's so you just feel it's so much secure, because if you think now that section there can't move as much, it's not as fluid, unlike these that have not got anything on the edge, it really just brings it all together. One problem I find with this project is if you accidentally, how can I do it without, yeah, like that, there we go, I've accidentally flicked it over, it looks like you've gone wrong, so it looks like I've got them both on the same side. Actually it's not, it just needs bringing back. So if you're a beader who likes to have it in your hand, which I do actually for a lot of projects, but with this piece I just find it, I get in a pickle with it, so I do try and leave this one flat on the mat. But yeah, so now when I put that back, that might have skew whiffed them. No, it hasn't, but all it does is it flips them round like that. And then you just need to work out that it shouldn't have been that way, as long as you did put it on in the right way. Do you know, even if you didn't, I wonder if it would let you flip it over in that same way actually. Okay, so that's there. So I'm now just adding this edging on. So each time I add it, I'm adding my 3 beads. I'll just bring that photo back in for you a moment. So it's my 3 beads and going through, you can see clearly where that needle goes through. So I'm picking up my 3 beads. Through there, you just got to find the right thread path. It's you have to do it all in one or bring it through and go back again. But I'm going to try and find, there we go, find all the way through. Hold on to that, bring it through, and that will just tighten that up. So it forms really quickly when you get going. It's a really rewarding project. It's not, for a bead weaving project, it's not a majorly overcomplicated piece, so it's quite achievable in one session sort of thing. Or you could do the main body of the bracelet in one session and then go on to add the embellishment afterwards. Despite the fact I've got a really good light, I keep covering it with my hand. Now why is that stuck? Oh, just a bit on that cord. There we go, like that. So you can see now if I cover that, that's the bit we're at. That is the same as the bottom of this. That is this piece here, and that is finished then, unless you decide to turn that into a picot or add something else on there. And then, so then you come on to add in your end, I've gone for a toggle in the kits, but obviously you could put whatever you fancied on there. So when you come on to add that, what you do is just exit, let me get that focus, try and remember to correct it after I've done that. Okay, so I've exited either side, well, one side of the Paisley Duo first. I've gone for 4 seed, oh, I've gone for 4 that side and 5 the other. For no particular reason, I don't think. Let's have a look, hold on. Do you know why it is? Because the Paisley Duo, I have done that on purpose actually. Because the Paisley Duo is slightly over to one side because of how the pattern, it bends over to that side. I've gone for 1 less on that side to just make it sit more in the centre, but don't stress too much. But so I've gone 4 through the top of my toggle. That could be your lobster clasp, a magnetic clasp, whatever you fancied putting on. Got some really pretty magnetic clasps at the moment, and then back down through there, and then I've passed back through there, and then when I'm adding a clasp on, I always repeat my thread path and go back through it a few times. Then I tie it off on the thread, so you tie it off on there, pass back through a few beads, tie it off again, pass back through, and then I sort of add a drop of glue, and that'll just give you a really secure fastening by going through the thread path a few times. And you can see it's still very, very fluid piece. So it's very, very fluid to work with, but it's really, really strong. So you can vary up your colours and everything that you're using. This is available as a kit as well. I'll just see if I can find the kit for you. I remembered to focus again. Let's just see if I can find the kit online. So we're working on our new website. I really appreciate those of you that were in the group giving me a bit of feedback on it. If anyone wants to sort of give me any direct feedback, you know, I'd love to have a catch up with anybody that uses. I'm a really bad user of websites. I just don't use websites particularly. With having a shop, I suppose I just love the shop. But yeah, so I don't use websites a lot, but if I've got anybody on here that feels like having a quick chat with me and giving me an idea of how you use websites, not that sounds really silly, that I don't, but you know, how you shop for your beads and any problems you come up with ours. We're really trying to get a site where we can really help you guys to navigate it and things. So that's what we're currently working on. Me and the team are. We're just getting products ready and things to add on, so we can really try and get more of it available to you. Those of you that are our local customers, I say it all the time, it's what we've got in the shop is just amazing, and you know, I want to recreate that so you can see it online, and then it'll always be there, won't it? So if you can't get to us at any point, you'll still be able to access what we've got on the website. Now more than ever, it's absolutely critical, isn't it? So once you get going with this, you can soon start to add those gorgeous embellishments through the Paisley Duo, your seed beads, the other Paisley Duo. Oh, it'll fall out. That's another option. Sometimes it just goes through completely fine, and the other times it gets stuck. There we go, did it in one go. That's all starting to come through now, so let's have a look at that. So this is the bit when it's embellished. That's where it's got all your embellishments on the edge. And then this bit is where it's loose. I'm just going to try adding a picot edge on that, see how it looks. So imagine I'd finished this. You would pass back down. Whenever you want to get anywhere on bead weaving, you pass your needle back through the thread path. So what I'm going to do for the picot edge is go through this one, skip that one, and go through that one. Let's see how we can do it. So I'm going under there, through that other one. I have to do this in 2 steps. Yeah, I'm going to pass through that first one first, skip that one, go through that one. I'm hoping this makes a nice little picot. It's not gone under it for me. Yeah, it does. Just got to get the thread in the right place. Did you catch where I put that? Sorry, I moved it out of shot. So I just had to make sure it passed underneath that size 8 and then pull it nice and tight. And it just makes that stick out a little bit more. I don't think you need to do that, it's just another option, isn't it? Might just also strengthen your thread path going through as well, if you go down and do that all the way along. It's sitting a little bit loose actually. I think once you go down and do that all the way and that tightens, that will sit more like that. But if it goes floppy, you're sort of seeing the thread path underneath it a little bit, which you don't really want to do. But look, that's the picot one, just to show you what I mean there. That's with the little centre one sticking out. That's a regular one. There, so it just sort of sits straight. But yeah, I think it looks rather nice either way. Oh, Lynn's one of our local customers. She's desperate to visit. You wouldn't believe how desperate I am to have you guys back in the shop as well. It just, you know, when you're a shop as opposed to a warehouse or something, it's what you do. You know, it's always been my commitment to make sure we're there, make sure the shop is there, make sure we're there to teach and serve our customers, and you know, and it's just feels so empty. We're in, and I've got the team working shorter hours, but they're there. So this time we're going to try and all work through it so we can keep everything going, and it's you know, I've got a bit of support and to really get this new website ready and everything. So we are there. In fact, I haven't been in at all today because everything I've done I've had to do from home because to get my internet connection and things. So the girls have, well, Lindsay's been in today to answer any queries. So we're just doing 10 till 3, give us a ring. We're doing click and collect. So if you're, I've switched ways by the way, sorry, I'm going the opposite way now, but the process is still the same. Yeah, so if you're local and need something, check in with us. You know, you can come and pick it up. And then obviously if you do a mail order and want to come and pick it up and you want to come out for a bit of a walk and pick it up from the door, you are more than welcome to. I just can't let you in, and it's such a shame when you get there. I think, oh, it'd be so lovely to let everybody in. We'll get back again, guys, if we all behave ourselves. And in the meantime, I've got our beading. So I think that's all I need to show you. Has anyone got any questions on any part of that I've not covered properly for you? Obviously, those of you that are watching back, I try and check in with the questions and things, but hopefully with a combination of me showing you it and the pictures that you can see, you should be able to see what you need. Now that's interesting because that one's gone a bit more pico-y naturally. Let me bring that one up to you. I think just how it's pulled in, it's naturally pulled that out a little bit more. It probably won't stay like that in fairness when I do my next one, but that's the look that I was getting by going through them outer two. It just brings that up as a bit of a pico. The other thing you can do is put a smaller one in there and then it makes a nice pico too. So you've got a choice. If you're going for the kit, you get it exactly as this is. You've got everything in one place, needle, thread, all step-by-step instructions which you get as well. Hold on. There we go. So you get your step-by-step instructions, and you can see what I do. These are the pictures that I've been sharing in with you. Really clear pictures and a description to remind you of your quantities and everything. So obviously if you go for the kit, you're going to get that in there as well. So I think that's it, everybody. Thank you ever so much. Let's just... I think that covers everything. Everyone all right with that? Anything I need to see? Let's have a look if I've answered everything. Fabulous. Oh, thank you guys who stayed with me. It was really nice to show you this project. I may well have done this one before, I couldn't remember, but because I've improved the technology that I can now show you it on, and I can get that focus a little bit better, I might revisit a couple of the techniques where I really was frustrated not being able to get that focus for you. So now things are behaving and I can get it to show. It's quite nice to be able to show you the details. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. These get stored on Facebook, so you can look back on the lives, but once we get the new website, they'll also be on there as well. We are loading them onto YouTube at the moment, so we've got a YouTube channel, and I'm loading them up on there. So they're all going to be around for reference. You can create a little library. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, just to get the updates. So we do put the Facebook Live on there, and then I dip in with other ones as well. I haven't done a fresh one for a while. I was waiting to get the technology side of it sorted out, or I have to get on the kids to film me. I'm getting there. I'm feeling better than I was. This is a big learning curve, this lockdown is. So we're getting there with it. So I've got lots more videos planned as well. We'll be here. I think this will be a permanent thing. I don't see why it won't be on a Wednesday. We'll be here. I'm actually on Create and Craft, guys, next Wednesday again. It's been brought forward a week, so I'm on next Wednesday again. I'm excited about next week. So I had it planned for 2 weeks time, and I've got a new colour mermaid. I have got a new Sparkle Spacer Angel. I've got a brand new bead weaving project that I'll show there. I may or may not show you it on here. Oh, thanks. Gainer's just shared in, Gainer's mum, and she's just shared in the YouTube link. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I probably will. I'll do it on Create and Craft first, and I'll put the kit out there that goes with it first. And then I'll probably schedule it in for a live at some point. It's a really nice project to work with, but there is a lot of variation, and the kit's going to have lots of variations of pattern on it. So keep an eye out for that, because my first demo will definitely be for Create and Craft, because I've committed to doing that project for them. So it's next Wednesday, 9 o'clock on Create and Craft. It's only a 45-minute show, and that includes the kind of sales side of it as well, that they obviously where they need to show you the products and things. You know, they've got it on the website, but it's better to see it live when we do it there. So I do only do shorter demos there, but I try and pick the bits you like. Today I've repeated it a couple of times, haven't I? So, but I try and just pick the snippets, just so you can get what you need to see from them. So I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. I'm trying to think. Heidi's next Wednesday. She is doing a Tree of Life wire pendant. She's gone for an unusual one. She's always done loads of different styles, and we decided we'd do something different for you. So she'll probably show you some of the traditional ones as well, but she's going to show you a really cute little unusual one that she's designed, like a cherry blossom. So I'll create on Facebook a little event or ping up for that, if you want to have a look at what we're doing. So Heidi will be here next Wednesday, 3:30. And then I'm back the following, well, Create and Craft on the Wednesday morning, and then the next one. Heidi's also got her Dreamcatcher class. That's actually a class that you come on with us. So that's coming up week on Sunday as well. So there's still a couple of spaces on that. The only thing I need to do is get the kits out, and they will be coming. I need to send those really tomorrow at a push Friday, I guess. So if you want to book on the Dreamcatcher class, we're only running the Sunday one. Get booked on that so I can get your kit out to you. So you get a kit with everything you're going to need in, step-by-step instructions as well. The instructions might come by email again, because we're just tweaking with some photos ready for those. So they'll come out to you, and yeah, it's all good. Hi Ruth. Yeah, don't worry. You can watch it on replay. So I post this and then it goes live on our page, and you can watch it back. So thank you so much. Thanks for being with us. It's absolutely appreciated to have you here, and we will keep being here for you as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care, and we'll catch up soon. And if anyone can help me with that website, just any feedback, or you want to sort of have, you know, we can have a little Zoom catch up, if you can just help me out a little bit with, if you're an avid website user, just to help me out with how you work around it and stuff, that would be amazing. So thank you so much. Take care, everybody, and stay safe, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.